a crazy video here. I get a lot of questions from people first putting an EDIX saddle on their horse or another type of treeless saddle that sits over the scapula, and confusion about where it should sit, how it should sit, how the spinal clearance works, all sorts of stuff. Another big one, can I mount from the ground? So I'm gonna try to answer all those questions in this. So first we're gonna cover where to put the saddle. You will see a piece of blue twine over his spine. That's for something a little bit later about showing spinal clearance. So first of all, with an EDIX pad, they do have this really nice ergonomic design, okay? So you want to place the saddle pad a little bit further forward than you think you need it, and then slide it back, and you'll kind of feel it lock into place. Not too far forward, slide it back, and it kind of locks into place there. Fixing his twine. There we go. You want to make sure that the split for the withers is right over their center line, their midline, and also make sure the back of the pad is right over their spine. Now the saddle. Slide it so it locks into place there. You'll see the latigo is falling about a hand's width, 4 fingers behind their elbow. That's just where we want it. If your saddle's in the correct place, which means the pommel, if you reach up and under, is kind of right behind the highest point of their scapula. If that's in the right spot and this isn't falling correctly, if you have a Takiro, you can adjust it, or a Tiamo, or the new Oakley or Django. If you don't, message me or email me, call me, something, because there's some other things you can do to help get your alignment correct. So again, once it's on, make sure you pull the front of the pad all the way up into the spinal clearance. Make sure the back of the pad is lined up with the back of the saddle. The middle of it, that is. Perfect. Still got our twine. Lovely. And now, excuse me for a moment. I'm going to cinch up, and then we'll keep answering some questions. Another good question I get is, where should the cinch fall around their rib cage? I use the same rule for cinches as I do dressage girths, and that is that we want the buckle or the top of it to be just above where their forearm meets their torso. So this one does that nicely. Right up here is right about where it meets. This one could maybe be a little bit bigger, so that the buckle is clearing his muscle. So maybe he'll go up to like, that's a 22 inch, maybe go up to 24 inch. But for this demonstration, it's just fine. So that is another good question that I get. Now you'll see that it's all cinched up. We have just a little bit, pretty nice alignment here, where kind of where I'll be sitting, the front of my thigh is in alignment all the way down with the cinch. His cinches do tend to go a little bit forward, a lot of horses will. In extreme cases, that's when you're going to want a crescent girth. But Champ seems to do pretty well in straight girths. Once EDIX has their crescent girths, their crescent cinches, I'll certainly be switching over to one of those for him, but he does okay in this one. So next, I'm going to show mounting from the ground, and then also we have that twine in there to do a string test to show spinal clearance even when I'm in the saddle. Hold on. Lovely. So another question is cinch tightness, especially with the fully elasticized super girths. So the good rule of thumb that I like to use is that I can't easily put fingers in alongside their rib cage, or that I can, but I cannot put it in between their pectorals, between their front legs. So here I can put it in. Here, oh, I can put it in. So I need to tighten up a bit, especially before attempting to mount from the ground. Oh yes, I had quite a bit to go there. Looks like you can go around another time. So especially with the EDIX saddles that have the dropped Y rigging, you will find that you may have to go around more times than you would with a lot of treat saddles. Just something to know. As the dropped Y rigging takes up quite a bit of the room that a latigo would on most saddles. Go, make sure no hair's caught. Cover up the buckle. Ta-da! He's like, what are we doing? I'm just doing this in our little paddocks and tack up areas while he munches. because I appreciate that he's willing to put up with my nonsense. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount from the ground. The biggest response to can I mount from the ground in a treeless saddle is it depends on how you mount. If you have good mounting form, yes, definitely, especially if your treeless saddle is fit well and you have the appropriate cinch and is tight enough, obviously. If you step hard into the stirrup, if you have to really scramble and kind of pull yourself up, then even a well-fitted treeless saddle might slip. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you getting on, and then we're gonna go ahead and do our string test. Okay, so the 3 knots are there, so when I'm in the saddle, I can demonstrate that it easily pulls through, even though you might not be able to see daylight all the way down because of the merino wool and such, that there is easy space all the way down there. So first mounting, easy, and no slipping at all. Saddle is still nice and centered. Yeah, no problems. So as long as you have at least decent mounting skills from the ground, you should not have a problem mounting when needed in a trail riding situation. Okay, so now the string test. Try to hold on my reins for this part. So I'm in the saddle. I am not a tiny rider, so these saddles are appropriate even if you're not a tiny person. And nice and easy, even the knots come right on through, and it didn't catch at all. So there is spinal clearance going all the way down, and if I put my hand up under here, I can fit my hand flat, not a fist like you would with a tree saddle, but my hand flat all the way down to the back of his wither, okay? And at the back, I can easily stick my finger in over his spine, okay? So hopefully that answers at least some of the concerns and questions, which are completely valid in switching to treeless saddles. And always, always, always feel free to call me, email me, message me with questions that you have. I'm always happy to answer questions. Thank you, and I hope to talk to you soon.